Hi again, everyone. I'm Ian, and welcome back to THU TV. We've been talking about visual effects and animation. I'm joined by two great guys here at THU on the couch, Rodrigo and Jaime. Jaime, sorry. Jaime. I knew I'd stuff that up.
It's like Jaime. It's like Jaime. You can say Jaime.
We're going to talk about what it's like to be in animation production. You guys have had lots of experience doing this. Mm-hmm. But before we get to that, let's find a bit about both of you. Rodrigo, what do you do?
Well, a little bit of many things. Currently, I'm show running this TV series called Trollhunters.
It's amazing.
Thank you. So it's very chaotic life, day to day, hour to hour, and you know things change all the time. So yeah. And previous to that, I was so we're working on this with DreamWorks Television. Prior to that, I was in Pixar for 8-9 years, working in feature as a character animator. And then before that, I was in Spain, just doing a bit of everything. So.
And where are you doing Trollhunters out of?
So Trollhunters, we're based in LA.
Yep.
The core team that takes, production, storyboarding, and we're in DreamWorks Television in LA. But we really work all around the world. It's a very global enterprise.
Yep.
For sure, in terms of like studios all around the world and just making, we have to do, we delivered this last Christmas 26 episodes of the first season. So, it's pretty much running a lot of studios around and trying to get it done.
And we're going to talk a bit more about it, but if you want to have a good background on it, I did do an interview with you for Cartoon Brew.
Yeah.
Cartoonbrew.com. And I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was like such a different approach to a children's animated series. It just seemed to hit a lot of different marks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Trollhunters had a quite story to it in terms of like the journey of how we made it as a TV show.
Yeah.
It was before it was a book. It was also a feature film for 2 or 3 years developing. And then, we kind of turned it into a TV show. So we took a lot of like those influences that we had from the feature, from pretty much the movies we grew up with, like the Goonies, the Amblin movies of the 80s. And we wanted to really bring that into the animated TV medium and just, kind of do to animation what, we've seen. Again, I love live action TV series and that kind of the rebirth that has been going on in the last 10, 15 years. So we wanted to bring a bit of that into animation when, again, we love House of Cards, Game of Thrones, The Wire is one of the series that I love. So it's just bringing a bit of those influences and making a very narrative, keeping with the characters and seeing how they change through the series instead of like doing more of an episodic-based TV show.
I absolutely loved it. I binged on it. Yeah.
So that was the intention. We do that every couple of months. We sit down with Guillermo del Toro, Mark Guggenheim, Chad, Christina Steinberg, and all together we, a big group with editors. We sit down on the bay and we just binge watch 8-9 animatics together to see if it really feels like a binge watchable experience.
Oh, right. I haven't heard of Del Toro. Who's that? I don't. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, Guillermo is, Guillermo has this crazy idea, and he's amazing how, he is this amazing live action director, but his appetite is really big in terms of what he wants to do and, working in different mediums and TV, animation, games. So it was, Guillermo was a great opportunity to meet him and just to, collaborate together on a show like this and just see that, how he's so passionate about the TV show and animation in general.
It's great. Okay, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you do?
Well, I'm running my own studio now. It's called THU Animation. Well, my story is a bit different because I always try to stay in my little city, Valencia, Spain, and trying to bring works and projects to the city. So 6 months. Well, last year I finished the a feature film. I co-directed with Tony Bancroft, the Mulan's director, and Scott Saba. His name is Animal Crackers.
Yeah.
So we spent like three years working on that. So we created a studio to do that project. Then we are the main team. We are moving to a new one to keep working on animation. So we are trying to bring new projects, more feature films, and well, the very last project we made was the opening ceremony for Trojan Horse yesterday, and
which I saw last night and just loved. And of course, there's such a cool story about your studio. Can you tell
And they did it in so little time too.
Oh, really?
It's amazing.
How quickly?
Yeah.
Well, let's get to that. Tell me about the formation of that studio, because it has a lot to do with THU.
Yeah, it's a lot to do because, well, it's not a secret anymore. So Scott told anyone what happened. So, well, everything started 3 THU ago. So when Nadia and me, we came to recruiting for the movie. And well, we started a relationship. We met each other before that, but it was well, you know how it's THU. It's a week. It's an intense week, and we were talking about life, how we feel and how we see the world and the projects and the profession, and we realized that the project or the studio we were selling the people or talking about to the people, it wasn't our studio. So it was the idea of the studio we had in mind, not the real one. Because, well, when you have partners and they don't think like you, it's very different. No? So, well, everything started there. So the love was in the air, so and as well the idea of the studio we want to have. No, and it shares a lot of values of the Trojan Horse. It's like, well, we can say that it's created by artists for artists, and it has a philosophical idea to, well, we know the people who works in that industry, and we can say that they are different than the other industries. So you have to know them, you have to realize that what they like, what they don't, you have to take care of the people. So this is what we really want of the studios.
And even the name is really closely entwined with the concept of tribe at THU.
Exactly.
So tell me a bit about why you chose that name.
Yeah, exactly. So we had that name before that, but it was like, this is a signal, no? So it's like, we choose to name the studio La Tribu, is the tribe in Spanish, because we wanted to keep the Spanish name. So it's like, okay, we are placed in Spain, we don't have to share, but we are putting animation at the end. So it's like, okay, that's the standard word for the world. But the name of the studio says a lot about that, about the philosophical way we can do everything.
Now, I'm sure people are going to be able to find it online eventually, but you mentioned it was done really quickly. How long did you have to do it?
We spent like 2 months and 2 or 3 months from the scratch. So because Andre asked me, well, he had the poster from Alberto, and he said, well, we need to make the video for the opening ceremony, where this is a festival, the budget, don't talk about the budget. If we will do it, it won't be because of the money. It will be because if we can do it. Because, not if we want, because I'm sure we want it, but if it's possible. So we try to think a bit out of the box, trying to find a way to do the video, and well, we started from Alberto Mielgo's poster, so it's something different. So, well, I think we are quite happy.
Yeah. I mean, I won't describe it, but I think if you can seek it out and find it, I'll post a link to it when I can on my Twitter account. It was really great, and I think it spoke to the audience here really well, because it's the kind of thing, the style I think some people really like as well.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, when I was going through the list of nights to speak to in this THU TV, I totally pulled you out together, you guys, and hoped that you would both be on the couch. And I knew the Spanish connection, but I didn't know that you've actually worked together.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
did,
In 2009, right?
A while ago, yeah.
What was that on?
So I had a short film called Alma that I wanted to do for quite a bit of time. This was like, I think it was around 2006, where I was working at Pixar at the time, and I was making, as a character animator. And I always wanted to. And short films has always been a medium that I love. I really, it's pretty much the medium that made me want to be an animator.
Yeah.
So I watch a lot of like the, Eastern European stop motion films, Van Meyer, Starevitz, and kind of mix that with part of the CG birth of short films, like the Pixar films of the 80s and all that. So all that kind of made me want to work in animation. And kind of I always wanted to make my own short film. So we found this kind of around 2005, 6, I started working on this animatic for a short film. And I always knew that, I wanted to get a pretty creepy ending. If you see the film, you'll see it. But I just wanted to
I'm hooked already.
Yeah.
Seriously.
But I just, wanted to explore a bit of the, what CG animation can do. So one of the things that happened, I think it was through my producer, Cecile Hoax, that happens to be my wife too. So she was working with Jaime and his team back in Valencia at the time. And it kind of came to this moment where like I had an animatic, these guys had a little break between productions.
Yeah.
And they saw the animatic and said, why don't we just try to make it over here? And I was like, this idea of like, wait a second, I'm gonna go to Valencia and spend 3 months in the summer, and ending every day with a nice beer in this.
Nah.
No, I was like, no. So it was a great excuse, and also, again, we just kind of got it started, and we just spent like really intense 2-3 months working there with
totally.
Jonathan Catalan, that is another guy that like lighter that helped us build all the thing and light it. So it was a really beautiful experience. I think I always remember it. It was really hard because short films are, you do it really much for passion because there's no money on it. So it's more of an essay. So just to get, people that want to work on it and, kind of get in that combination of everyone working together on something that is finite. It feels like you can make it, even though it's always like this really, it feels like you're never going to end and finish it. But kind of the big motto that we had was like, I think kind of like we talked about at the beginning when we were going to make the short film, was like, okay, anything we do, we just have to finish it, right?
Yeah.
We just have to. We don't want this one to be on the drawer.
And it was like almost 3 years to finish that.
Yes, it took. It was like, we're going to finish it in 1 year, but it's
exactly.
like. Right.
So we started like when he came to Valencia, it was like 3 months. So we pushed a lot the surfing, but we spent like three years later to finish that. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What came of it? Did you enter it into any festivals, or was it really a personal?
It did really
project?
well.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, right.
it's actually kind of give me my step to what I'm doing now in a way. It came in the moment where it's kind of like the summer. Like it won many festivals actually, and actually did really well in the festival circuit. And
the Goya Award.
it got nominated
It
for the
didn't
Goya.
win. It deserved to win.
Yeah, right, there you go.
Yeah.
The team, right?
Robbed.
Yeah. It totally
No, we
deserved.
won LA Short Film Festival,
Wow.
Bradford. It was, it was a great run just to see it. But it came at a time where, like, the District 9 just came out,
Oh, yeah.
right? And it was a summer where, like, and that movie came about, like, Blomkamp. This was just doing short films before that.
Yes.
So they like it kind of like went into this weird state where they were looking for short films in Hollywood to see if they can actually turn it into a movie. Not many of those really happened. It was like this kind of Hollywood going to different mode and just trying to find a new thing. But what it did, for me was like, Guillermo del Toro saw that short film and he really loved it. And kind of out of the blue say like, are you doing anything with this or you want to meet? So kind of after that, it was around 2010, we met, I pitched him a couple ideas and it's the moment where he's starting at DreamWorks doing Trollhunters. So he just said like, "Come on with me and let's actually co-direct this movie together."
That's incredible. And I think a lot of filmmakers who have a short film experience have a similar one. Even if they don't win awards or
Right.
lead to a project, it means you get something done.
Yeah.
Sure.
It means you've got something to show in your reel,
Right.
apart
Exactly.
from anything else. And it's about collaboration, right? I'm assuming that's a lot what you learnt on working on this
Sure.
film. Yeah.
And it's really cool when after 8 years, anyone or a lot of people knows about Alma. So you are talking maybe. Well, I'm talking about I did that. Alma. Oh, Alma, you worked on Alma.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking before about Google spotlights or something like that.
Right.
But Alma is very present today. So, but yeah. I think doing short films animation is really hard. It's not the same by far than doing in live action. So, and this is the main problem, to find new directors in animation, because it's a long career, and it's really hard to have new people doing short films, then jump into to feature films, and that's because it's really hard to finish a short film.
In 2008, 9, 7 to 9, you collaborated, I'm guessing, in the same space.
No, actually,
No?
it was one of those. Like, it's probably like one of the first one we were doing all around the globe. Actually,
Right.
it really helped me
Yeah.
to actually after just working Trollhunters, the TV series. It really helped me already start working in this
Yeah.
kind of environment where like we had a base in San Francisco where I was living. Jaime and Johnny were in Valencia. My brother is the art director. I think it was in between Granada and Madrid, and then we will render in LA.
Yeah, right.
So it was this weird mix, again, without any program or shotgun or anything that production.
Right.
So there's a lot of like
and
the
emails and
weirdest
everything.
Skype and iChat and all this crazy stuff.
Because
But
I guess that's my point. You could say the tools have evolved now to be even more useful, and people do rely on Skype to communicate.
Oh,
And,
big time.
You know, cloud rendering, and there's even animation collaboration tools, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that is a great opportunity for young filmmakers to use those tools.
I think there's even new platforms now that you can actually collaborate and share, and that's kind of the beauty of that technology.
Yeah.
Is the way that it's. Again, I feel like animation is definitely becoming more global. It's always been, especially in TV, an international business, but it's in terms of like these smaller projects, it's becoming easier just to connect with different people around the world and kind of share a common idea and kind of get all together and do it. And I think Alma was one of those short films, again, like at the time that it started to do it, and it was more about, there was no really tools that were written for that or for those type of productions, and I think now it's just great tools out there. But it was one of those where you could send a message to for example Jaime or Johnny in the morning. He will send the render in LA, you'll get it back at night. So it's one of these where like you're starting to see it work together, and seeing that happen was, again, it made it really possible.
Which is an interesting thing. It's like a blessing and a curse, the worldwide production
Yes,
thing, right?
it is.
Because you can have someone working
The
for
24/7.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And look, frankly, I'm in Sydney, and I do a lot of interviews with people in LA and New York at 5 a.m. in the morning, but I have to do it, otherwise I can't get in touch with them. So yeah, what was that like? And do you still have those kind of collaborations at all? In work
Animal
that you
Crackers
do?
was made in that way. So we had Michael, he was in Australia, and the directors, they were in LA, Tennessee and LA, because Scott lives in Tennessee, and Scott lives in LA, and the main team was in Valencia. So it's, you have to learn to work on that way, through Skype, Shotgun, or F-Track, or that kind of tools. So it's the way. Now, for example, we are working in the film of Jin Kim in Red Shoes and Seven Dwarfs. We are doing part of the animation of the
Oh,
movie,
right.
and it's the same. So, but with this is with Korea, so you have to adapt to the timeline and everything. So.
Yeah. What about language things when you're dealing with Korea? How do you cope there?
We had to hire a translator, so because the
right.
director is Korean, so a lot of notes they come from in Korean. So, but we are lucky because one of the animation directors there is Jorge Capote, is Spanish, so
Right.
the connection is much easier if you
Handy.
speak in Spanish. So,
Yeah. Guys, tell me more about the Spanish animation community and the Spanish industry. You know, I'm sure that a lot of people know about Spanish animation, but
He will know more than me.
Yeah, I think we are. I weren't. I stay in Valencia because I really believe in the talent that we have. If I thought that it was impossible to grow up or make a team with Spanish people or Valencian people, I think I would left long time ago to Los Angeles or San Francisco. But I'm not sure why. I know maybe in Valencia, because I always say that in Valencia we have something called fallas. And if you know fallas, you have to look for them in
Okay.
Google, Fallas. And we have a week with huge monuments, like character designs, extraordinary well done and great character designs. And we look them since the beginning. So
Yeah, when we grow up.
since we are kids, and it's like you are getting that
yeah.
in your mind. So I think we have a good experience watching and growing with art and illustrations, animation. So it's very interesting.
I think it almost is one of the things I like most about Trojan Horse is that, of course, I know a lot of Hollywood productions and some indie productions too, but here you get to see what else is going on in Spain or Germany
Right.
or Estonia or wherever. You know, I mean that's obviously
I think
one
that
of the
is
benefits.
is kind of the beauty of these type of festivals. Or although I don't know, Trojan Horse is its own entity. I don't know if I call it a festival.
Yeah.
It's an event.
You know, it's an event.
Yeah.
Where so for me, it's just like this opportunity to just connect with you know, animators and people I haven't seen in a while, and just just actually check what is everyone is doing and kind of get out of that. You know, especially when you're working on something like Trollhunters, you're like 2-3 years really intense, only thinking of that and trying to really, you know, get to that finish line. So it's hard to just look around and see what everyone's doing. So these are great opportunities just to touch base with not only Portugal, but also like, you know, a lot of Spain animation and animators that come here or in Europe. And it's pretty much a global event in a way. Like you get people from all kind of backgrounds, and yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if you don't get much sleep.
Right. Yes, that is.
But it's hard to tell because you have to feel it and you have to
Yeah.
be here to know what is.
That's true. That's true. I think it has kudos, and people do want to get here. You can enjoy it from THU TV and other ways, and you know there are meetups around the world as well, which is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
But it is pretty inspirational and motivational, and just to hear your stories about how you guys got started and now look at where you are. You know,
Yeah.
What is nice about, again, you have it in festivals and events like Trojan Horse, is like this idea where you get people that are just starting and people that almost are, you know, really seasoned veterans of the business and all the range that is in between. So you really kind of start seeing, you know, there's an opportunity to look back at what you've done through your career. It's an opportunity to see the young talent coming in and you know, hearing like, you know, mentors or bigger names and trying to just, you know, seeing where they took and kind of almost like give birth to CG animation, like Scott around here. So it's you know, it's a great opportunity to see that and experience and connect to that that type of, you know, animators and friends and people.
Well, I think we're out of time, but thanks so much for joining me. I had like plans to ask you about how hard it was in animation production. So, but I think your personal stories are much more interesting. Thanks, guys, for
Great.
joining
Thank
me.
you,
And
man.
we're going to
Thank
go
you.
to a break now. Thanks so much.